Hi everybody and welcome to the PlantStock channel. If we haven't met yet, my name is Jesse and today I thought we would focus on Beyond Meat and talk about the question, is it a buy or isn't it? And there's a lot to go through, so let's get to it. But as always, before we do that, I would appreciate an early thumbs up to help spread the video to more people out there, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and you are interested in plant-based companies like Beyond Meat, Tattoo Chef, the very good food company, and Oatly, to name a few. Now, if we take a quick look at the stock chart, ticker symbol BYND in the NASDAQ, we can see that it's up today plus 7.3%, reaching $68.05. And we know the last 5 days has been also a bloodbath, about 14% down. And today, again, it's up about 7.3%. Now, it's obviously good that it's up 7% today, but all in all, in the last month, it's actually down 25%. And if we take a look at the year to date, it's down almost 50%. So what is going on in the overall market that has gone down so much, but also what's going on that it just flew up again? So that's what we're going to talk about here now. Now, for you who are not aware, I have my own Discord channel, the PlantStock community, which is free right now. And just yesterday, I started coming out with morning briefings, talking about what's going on in the market and trying to relate them to plant stock companies, but just growth companies overall, right? And something I talked about here is that the volatility is happening right now has a lot to do with the uncertainty regarding the Fed, right? As I'm writing here, that people are still worried about what is going to happen to the interest rates. And although the Fed and Powell has stated many times that the inflation that we are now facing is transitory, most people don't believe that anymore, not even the Fed at this point. And we just got out some numbers, right? That the inflation is at a staggering 6.8% year over year. And this is something we haven't seen since 1982. And in today's briefing, I stated also that we know that the FOMC, the Fed that is, they're actually having this meeting today and tomorrow regarding what to do regarding the inflation. So we could expect either interest rates to keep being where they are right now, or they could actually be raised or starting to be raised much quicker than we thought before. So everyone is basically holding their breath. But also, as I state here, that the Omicron variant is actually getting a bigger foothold now in many countries. And overall, COVID, if we take a look in the UK, it's actually, they're experiencing about 200,000 new cases every day. And the Omicron is actually becoming the most dominant variant. So obviously this is a problem. And here I have a quote from David Sachs that I put out on my Twitter account. So guys, if you want to join my Twitter account, just feel free to take a look down in the description. But this is basically what David Sachs from the All In podcast stated. If the Fed raises rates, the stock market tanks, hurting the economy. If the Fed doesn't raise rates, inflation spikes, hurting the economy. Hard to find a Goldilocks scenario when federal debt to GDP is over 130%. So we do understand that there is a bit of a conundrum here. We really don't know what to think. So that's what we know. We know that the market hates uncertainty, and we have a lot of it right now. But another reason also why the stock has been tanking in the last couple of weeks is also in December 11, which is just a few days ago though, it came out a report that actually stated that Beyond Meat's collaboration with Taco Bell had basically been canceled to some extent, that the two people working with Taco Bell from Beyond Meat got canned. They got fired because the tests weren't actually working. But then we got a statement from both companies stating that they are continuing with the test. It's not a big deal. It's just that Taco Bell wants the perfect product for their goals. It's much like it was with McDonald's just over a year ago. And now today we know that they're working with McDonald's. And then obviously another reason why it's been selling off is that, as you know, this is the tradition that a lot of investors tend to sell off a lot of the shares or take profits just before Christmas because of tax reasons. And then we might see a spike in January like we saw last year, but that could be one of the reasons too, right? And don't forget the awesome short interest that this company normally has. Take a look at here, about 34%. So obviously that will wreak havoc with any company. And this is something that Beyond Meat has had a problem with from the very beginning. Same kind of thing that Tesla had for years and years, and to some extent still. But then we have also in the last couple of days started to get in some more and more positive news. And one of them was that Beyond Meat, I think this is actually one of the best news we've seen from Beyond in this, one of the best news in this year, is that they've actually hired 2 former Tyson Food executives that is actually going to help them with their supply chain and operations. And as you know, Tyson Food is one of the biggest and largest meat manufacturers in the US. So having experience from one of the US largest meat manufacturers is something that the company seriously need, having a combined experience of 60 years. So we have Doug Ramsey, who's going to be joining as the Chief Operating Officer, exactly what they need. Again, 30 years at the company. He oversaw the poultry and McDonald's business. And then we have Bernie Adcock, who also spent 30 years at Tyson, and he actually took care of the supply chain and operations. So he will serve as the new Chief Supply Chain Officer. This is exactly the 2 things that the company has had a lot of issues with as of late. And as it states here in the article, quote, "These are crucial hires for Beyond Meat, which has struggled to deliver a profit, largely because of the higher costs of ingredients that go into making plant-based food products." And then we actually had some other news that came out in December 9th that is from the Oppenheimer analyst, that they actually updated that it seems like Beyond Meat is doing really well when it comes to McPlant. And it says here, the McPlant burger tastes good. What does that mean for Beyond Meat? And as the analyst here, Rupesh Parikh, says that the McPlant launch was very visible externally and within the location, while also noting that the burger itself tasted good and was prepared in a consistent time frame with other products. So basically in this article, we are getting a hint that this company or this analyst firm, Oppenheimer, kind of gives us an idea that they believe that we could see the McDonald's deal becoming larger next year. And then even more good news came out yesterday, which was from Piper Sandler, who actually stated that they can actually see them going nationwide at McDonald's early next year. They are actually expecting them to get to 14,000 locations in Q1. And obviously this is incredibly positive news, and what that would mean for the company in form of sales, right? And also recognition. That's what we want to see, that it's not enough that they'll actually be at maybe hundreds or thousands of different new locations at McDonald's, but that actually people will discover Beyond Meat as a brand, like as a company, as a product, which means hopefully that they will start buying them in the stores themselves later on. So I think free commercial in many ways. So the only thing that I found strange here, and we're going to get back to that in another video in the future, is that it's weird is that Lavery, the analyst from Piper Sandler, believe that what Beyond will be making extra with the McPlants, even though it would be going nationwide, would be $75 million more per year, which I find extremely low. And I've seen under other numbers that would maybe be more between $200 to $300 million revenue. Still really good news though, but I would say that that is quite low. But again, that's something I'm going to make a new video on soon, so we'll talk more about that. But again, overall, great news. But funnily enough, just before I was going to start making this video, there was a new article coming out from Seeking Alpha, or actually news from what's been happening on the market. And it is that BTIG that actually came out a couple months ago regarding the McPlant, that they did see that the McPlant could go nationwide in the beginning of 2022, now actually states all of a sudden, when Piper Sandler states that they think they're going to go out, that they won't actually launch in the whole nation next year. Although they believe that they're going to have several hundred restaurants in Q1 of 2022, again, not the whole nation. And this is what Peter Saleh says now, the person who said that they would actually be in the whole country. This is what he's stating, quote, following several channel checks with industry executives and franchisees, we believe McDonald's will expand the test of McPlant in the US from 8 locations currently to several hundred restaurants in Q1 of 2022. Our contacts suggested that a national launch of McPlant in 2022 is unlikely given the current marketing calendar and scale of the McDonald's system. The performance of the expanded test in Q1 of 2022 should inform such a decision potentially in 2023. So obviously, these are some conflicting ideas and thoughts, and even when this investment firm or this analyst said before that they expected them to go out, now they have changed their minds. Well, of course, if they've done their research with their sources they have, well, they have to keep up to date, of course. So to the question then, is Beyond Meat a buy at this moment? Well, the price is certainly very attractive. If we take a look again where they're at $68, right? And just a month ago, they were up to about $84, $85. And if we look at the 52-week range, right? I mean, it's been up to $221, and that was back in January. So obviously, you're getting this at a huge discount comparatively to before. So personally, I would say, especially if I had a lot more money, and I might try to fix that soon in one way or another, I would say that this is a good price for me personally. Remember, this is not financial advice, but you need to keep in mind that what's going on in the market right now, there's a lot of volatility, and depending on what the Fed actually comes out with tomorrow, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. And if you want constant updates on what's going on in the market, make sure to be part of the Discord channel, and it's free right now. But given what's happening now in the market, again, folks, we could see this actually going even lower with time. I wouldn't be surprised now after everything that's happened, and especially when it came to their own Q3 report, when they actually stated that in Q4, they might actually be doing even worse than they've done so far this year, given that the new Delta variant and the Omicron variant now and other situations that's going on. Well, we could see this going down to under $60 and maybe towards $50. I've seen some speculations around that it could be even lower. I mean, again, folks, like I always say, this is short-term noise. It doesn't bother me long-term. I'm thinking about 5 to 10 years ahead. I think this price is going to be extremely cheap, which means that if you're planning to invest, well, dollar cost average. That would be my suggestion. Because again, if you start investing now, well, it could be cheaper in a couple of days or in a couple of weeks or in a couple of months. I think it will take time now for it to actually really shoot up. Unless, and that's the important one, that we find out about the McDonald's deal early next year or at the end of this year. And we find out that it's going to be like actually Piper Sandler talks about, that it could be at 14,000 new locations. I mean, I think that's we can see like a 30-40% spike then for sure. So that's why I would say do not wait too long if you are really interested in investing in this company. All right, folks, that was it for today. I truly hope you got a lot of value from today's video. And if you did, make sure to smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you want more videos like this. And again, if you want to be part of our free Discord channel, make sure to take a look in the description. Thank you, folks. I truly appreciate your help. And don't forget, this was not financial advice. These are just my own thoughts and ideas. Really hope to see you soon. Have a great Tuesday and peace out.